Okie dokie, hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a last minute video, but to be fair, this was already in the plans and I was going to film this video in October, but time has changed, but things have changed. I lost the footage I was meant to upload in the video yesterday. This is a last minute video, so I can still have 2 videos out this week. So you can probably tell from the title what this is about. So I have a spreadsheet that I basically document all of my makeup usages in. I started it in 2014, way before I started project planning. I only had one tab at the time, and it was the only way I would record just powder found it, like my inventory at the time, and that was just like powders, foundations, blushes, bronzers, and eyeshadow. That was it. I didn't include anything else. So over the last year it has expanded. I've got now multiple tabs that all have different things in them, and I've got like different aspects of it that may be a little bit confusing but kind of makes sense to myself. Yeah, so I have a really weird brain, and the way I pick what makeup I'm using is by using the spreadsheet. Without further ado, let me just get right into it. I'm screen recording my laptop. I'm hoping it works. Alright, so this is my spreadsheet, as you can very well see. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tabs. Now, as I said, when I first made this in 2014, I only had this inventory tab, and that was it. And I only added these additional tabs throughout the last year as I've been doing my project planning. So, let's get through it. So this is, my first tab. So we have all of my makeup in here. So that's powder foundations, liquid foundations, bronzers, blushes, highlighters, eyeshadows, like lip products, lip salves, nail polishes, brow products, eyeliners, and I think that's it. Perfumes as well. It actually tells you what I've got up here in these 2 little boxes which have got my inventory numbers. They were added at the start of this year. I thought I would start putting them down so then I can refer to it when I do my inventory updates on YouTube. I can just reflect to these 2 tables and see what's changed and what hasn't changed over the past year. And as you can see over this last year, like for example, I've got a lot more nail polishes. They're the only section I have increased. I have lowered powders and lowered on lips, and that's pretty much the only change. Oh, and blush. But they're the only changes in this page. Okay, let me go through the colour scheme. So the blue items are the items that are, I think, cruelty free. They may not be anymore. I haven't actually updated this and gone through again and updated, but this also, when I rolled in items for like prompt that's cruelty free, I would easily be able to spot them in the list instead of having to like check the sites every single time to figure out what items I own are and aren't. So I did that. It's not up to date though. I probably need to add more to the list, but I just haven't had the time. The red items here, you can probably tell actually because you can see that we've got some columns here. So when I bought it, when I started and when I finished. I don't go through my spreadsheet until the very end of the year and declutter it and cleanse it, and that's because that means I have to go through and reorder all of the numbers. So instead I just leave them there, and then if I roll those items in, then that leads me to go to the prompt sheet, which is further down the line in my tabs. Just as an FYI, that's why they are there, and it also just kind of helps me notice, like as I'm going through and seeing how many things I finished with throughout the year. So yeah, I mean, to be fair, I did finish this one in 2021 and these ones in 2019. That for the Giorgio Armani and the Jelly Ping Pong, they were finished a couple of years ago, but I think I don't think I actually added that they had been finished, so I just, until this year, so that's why they are still here. And we've also got like the jelly pom-poms, one's a little bit different because it was a blush and bronzer duo, and the bronzer still exists. So although it's finished, it still is an item that I can use, so it's not completely finished, but yeah, you'll see what I mean. Okay, so I think, yeah, so I mentioned that the bought date starts and finished, and then if I scroll further down, you'll be able to see now I've got some different shades here. So the yellow items are cream products. They're ones that I need to skip when I want to pan something, or if I want to work on something that's like an eyeshadow, I skip them. And then I've got orange for background. It means that they are a duplicate item, so I own more than one of them. As you can see, I own multiple hula lights and hulas, like this one as well, romantic, double on them. And you can start to see that some of these have got different shades. Some of them are white backgrounds, and some of them have got this like reddish yellow shade. And come to my eyeshadows, and it's even worse here. So every time I use an eyeshadow, I then go in and go to the fill item and change the shade number, shade color, and I'll show you an example actually. There is one somewhere, I believe, where I have had so many uses on it that it has. Oh yeah, here we go. For the Taunt and the Skin Deeped. For the Taunt and Sophia from this eyeshadow palette, I've used it so many times. I've gone through the fill colours once that now I'm going through the type one. You also notice that some of these shades, maybe not very noticeable on how zoomed out I am, but some of these have got bold colours. So the way I make sure I use all my items is I go through and use every 11th shade. So every single day I pick a different eye palette or eyeshadow and work on it. So for example, today I have got rolled in Smoke Show from the Tartlet and Bloom. And then tomorrow it will be Liquid Gold, and then the next day it will be Epic, and then the next day it will be Sourced. And then when we get to an eyeshadow that's got multiple eyeshadows that add up to 11, like this one that's got 60 eyeshadows in it, I have to use all of these on that one day. So that's an insane eyeshadow look day, I have to admit. But yeah, it's the only way I have been doing it. I used to do this a lot way back then. When I first created this spreadsheet, I would do it in threes. So I would be going down, so for example, if today's was Smoke Show, then it would also be Liquid Gold and Epic. I would have those three eyeshadows as my eye look, and then the next day it would then be Epic, Sourced, and then all of these ones that are bolded in this eyeshadow palette. And the next day it would just be this palette, which are all the bolded ones in this one, because they add up to more than 3. Yeah, it's really weird. I don't think anyone probably chooses their makeup like this, but this was how I have always done it. It's just made sense in my brain for me to do it this way, and it works pretty well. I get through my items quite easily with doing this. It does take months now because I am doing it only one at a time, as I'm working on so many project pans. The only way I can work on it now is just to use one at a time, but yeah. I used to go through them a lot faster. I'm actually at the point at the moment where all my eyeshadows add up to 11, so they're all multiples of 11, and so when I restart from the top again, I'm going to the same eyeshadows each time. I've gone through the list 3 times now of the same eyeshadow look. I'm really hoping that if I finish an eyeshadow in my finish 22 and 2022, that I can bump the eyeshadow number up. but not happened yet. Okay, so I think that's a good overview of my inventory. You'll notice there's a lot of blank spaces underneath my nail polish section, and that's just because I just haven't had a chance to add them yet. I kind of go through them individually every single time I wear them. I then add them to the list just because I've got so many. I'm just a bit lazy as well, to be fair. Yeah, okay. Next tab, we've got my project plan tab. So this is quite empty at the moment. I'm currently going through a time period where I'm not doing my project plan this month. I'm starting it next month, so it is empty and ready. I have just changed it slightly. It did look a little bit different to this when I had it going on, but I kind of simplified it a little bit more and just set it in there. I also just recently added these new rules down at the bottom as well, so that I can look at them when I roll in an item and know that I should have set rules for certain items, because I realised when I was doing my project plan that I didn't really have any set rules, and it made it a little bit difficult at times because I had items in that were in for months that I could have easily rolled out if I had some rules in place. So that's why they're there now. If you look to obviously the second part of the video shape of the page, you can see that we've got like 3 tables of the same thing. So this is part of my Usage in Every Shadow project that I started in July. You can see here the 2nd of July 2021, and I essentially pasted the entire eyeshadow portion from the inventory to this page, and decided that I wanted to randomize a number between 1 and 10. I did the random feature in Excel, and then I made it static so it wouldn't change every single time you refresh the page. I did that, and essentially I have to go through every single eyeshadow with the number that it's being rolled against. So for example, I'm currently working on this shade called Uncover, and the goal is to use it 8 times. I've used it 6 times, so I've only got 2 more goes until I then move on to Barely Pink, and then 3 goes, and then Very Light, and then 8 goes, and then Golden Night, etc, 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 and it goes all the way down. This is going to take me years to succeed with. It's a very long-term goal, but I wanted to basically ensure that I use every single eyeshadow in my collection, and just see how it goes, you know. So you can see I started in 2021. So far we've done a good amount in 2022, I'd say. I would say I'm a little bit behind. I do keep on having a lot of time off not wearing makeup. Like you can even see today I've gotten sans makeup, but yeah, I think it's going smoothly. Okay, Pound That Palette. Okay, so the Pound That Palette section is pretty much just the table on the left here. It's pretty much set there in stone. It has just the total amount of times I've used each shade, and then a grand total of it all added up, because my goal is to either hit pan every single shade or until I hit 1,000 uses. Yeah, I think if I did this, when I do this next time, I'm probably going to split it out into quarters, because, or at least monthly maybe, because I realised when I do my updates, I wish I had those numbers for how much I used it in the last quarter versus just having the total number. I think that's definitely something I will change once I finish this project for sure. Okay, then we've got this palette bingo table. So this is actually part of my project plan. So every month I randomly roll in a item to work on alongside my project plan items, just so I can still have again another chance to use items in my project, in my collection even. And so this is the table I use to work against with that, and then every time I roll one in I put an X and then the month, and then we move on. And then we've got this the third section I'd say, which is my 1 week 1 palette table. You can see the green background ones are the projects I've already done, and then we've got these next ones, which are my next in line, which I just haven't had the chance to do yet. Yes, I am weird probably in the fact that I've already set out the eyeshadow looks that I'm doing for those days. So we've got day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. That's because I want to randomly select the eyeshadows just to make it more fun, but I can also only use those eyeshadows 3 times within that week, so it can make it quite difficult to work out. So I thought I would just do it all at once and put it in to my spreadsheet, so then that week when I'm filming these videos it's easier for me to just do. Okay, projects. So this is my overall project table, I guess. It's got my finish in 2022, project 50 pan, and pan those eyeshadows. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I mark each day that I wear those items, and then the total adds up automatically. The red boxes obviously mean that I've completed the item, and yeah, you can see how badly I'm doing in finish 22 and 2022, guys. It is towards the end of August. We're past halfway through August, and I haven't even finished that many items, which is kind of worrying. Okay, then we've got my deco planning page. This is a project I decided to take part in at the start of this year. So we've got the month I rolled these in, we've got the card and the prompts, the product, and then again, same as before, the table where I tally each time I use an eyeshadow, or an item even, and then the total. I've also put like some little usage goals just as a side, just so I can see that when I roll an item in. Okay, then we've got my empties and declutters. So we have got a table that's got pretty much everything that's in here, and plus a few more things. I thought it'd be interesting just to see over the next few years how many items I finish in each year, just to see how fast or slow I am, and just out of intrigue really. Project Level Up. So this is also another project that I'm taking part in, which I kind of took from someone on YouTube. I'm kind of half-assing it, not gonna lie. I really have not been paying attention to this very much, given that it's August and I'm still working on level 1. It's pretty much what it says on the tin: 1 use in every shade, and then 1 pan. The one that I'm panning obviously is the one that's in bold. And then level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, it kind of like correlates. 4 uses in every shade, 4 pans, 5 pans, etc. I don't know if I'm going to continue this though after level 1, just because how long it's taking. It's definitely not a project I'm taking seriously, so I probably won't ever like share it on YouTube or anything, but yeah, I would say it's a project I'm doing offline. Usage. Okay, so this tab is a usage tab, so every time I use an eyeshadow I put an X against it, and it's just out of interest just to see how many eyeshadows I use within a year. So I started this in October last year, so we've got 2021 usage from October to December, where I used 222 items, versus 2022 where I've used 303, and we are already in August. So I'm intrigued to know how many I can use before the end of the year. 100%. It's just kind of interesting. It's just a little ditty for me just to look back and see how much I'm using, and yeah, just out of interest. Pans and pan and everything. So let's start with the left hand side. Again, similar to the table beforehand, I put an X every single time I hit pan on something. I've got like little totals here and the pan percentages and everything like that. And yeah, I just put an X here and it automatically updates the pans here and here. It's really easy. I will then in 2023 add another column here, and then it will just be as usual. Okay, then we've got all these bits here. So we've got April to July. This is my pan and everything tally. Actually, I don't think it's meant to be April to July. It's probably meant to be July to September now, but we move. So this is my table where I track those uses in that project. I work on a bronzer, blush, highlighter, and a eyeshadow all at once. I can only have one in at one time, and the goal is just to hit pan, and it's basically a long running goal to hit pan on everything. So you can see it took me a long time to hit the pan for Bourjois bronzer. That's actually when I first started the project, was May 2021, so long time coming. This is that. Then we got some bonus pans where I usually in my updates for my pan and everything, I also include the items that I hit pan in other projects, just to keep everything there, just out of intrigue. And then once I've done and filmed my update, I then add these to the table over here, and I'll do the same for like this as well. I will copy this. Also have this here. I'm not really too sure why. I think it's just it's not something I've actually updated, but I think I'll probably need to like X this out because I've now finished it, for example, or maybe I need to delete it and move it up. I'm not really too sure what my idea was for this, but there we go. Okay, we've got a prompt sheet. So this is where I put down if I land on a red space or I land on a blank space on my inventory. This is the prompt sheet that I talk about, that I go to, where I randomise and select from. Of course, you can see the number 40 is the one that I never want to get, which is a whole project pan refresh. Actually, sometimes I wish I did. I think there was a couple of points in my project plan this last year where I was like, I really want to get a whole project plan refresh here, guys. Didn't happen though. And then finally, we got my nails tally chart. So I actually own like a nail polish collection Instagram. Actually, it shows up there, k.collects nail polish. And my goal is I want to kind of start sharing all of my nail polish looks, and so I decided I would start seeing how many different variations I own and can do, and basically I don't want to like repost a look on that Instagram account. So this is how I can keep up to date and see what I haven't done before. So yeah, that's a whole thing. It's very, very new, very, very fresh. But yeah, essentially that's it. That is my spreadsheet. I love it. I think it worked really, really well. I'm not too sure. I think there's probably definitely some changes I could make to it. If you guys have any ideas of what I should add or anything, let me know. I think it would be interesting to see what people think. But yeah, that's it. That is my spreadsheet. I think it's very random, a little bit confusing. I feel like people will be very confused about the inventory and the different shades on there, which is fine. My brain understands it. I don't have to worry about other people understanding it as well. But yeah, I think it's interesting just to see how different people like mark up their uses, and some people I know just use like a notepad. I have to do it all digital, it just makes sense to me. I also use it in correlation with a counter app that is on my phone, and every few days I will update my spreadsheet to match the counter app. Yeah, I try and update this as much as often, to be honest, but it should be the most up to date when I'm filming this video anyway. But yeah, that's it. That is my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for my next video. Bye guys.